Je sais pas, je sais pas, voilà.
Hello, hello. Just a warning, we will be starting in about 10 minutes. Starting in about 10 minutes. How's the food? Does it feel good? It's good, it's good. Make sure you thank Happy Caribbean on your way out.
Climbing up a mountain, high above the sea. I find myself approaching a higher therapy. Climbing up a mountain, high above the sea. I find myself disturbing a higher therapy. They bite me on the chin, bite me on the hand. Like steel band. Because of my love for music, I refuse to run. But the bees were not sympathetic, they sting me for fun.
Boom, boom, killer me, bite me, can killer me, sting me, can killer me, drag. Boom, boom,
Oh, God.
killer me, choke me, can killer me, jump me, all over my head.
Well, I'm feeling the pain, but I got in a vibe in the brain. Mama, yo, I start to dance, I start to prance, because the buzzing of the bee formed this beautiful melody. You see,
This melody,
stand up in the bushes, leaning on a tree, watching all the bruises the bees put on me. I say this is tragic, is it wrong or right? For the sake of music, to take all this back. Well, this was my problem, should I stay or go? Something tell me leave them, something tell me no. Well, I finally decided I'm going to remain. The bees must be say as stupid. They lash me again.
Boom, boom. Killer they bite me. Can killer they sting me. Can killer they drag. Boom, boom.
Oh God,
Killer they choke me.
no more.
Can killer they choke me.
Too hard.
All over my head.
Well, I'm feeling the pain, but I'm getting a vibe in my brain. Mama, yo, I start to dance, I start to prance, because the buzzing of the bee formed this beautiful melody. Ooh, Tana, a Yankee dame, all the way from Michigan. She says she came, especially to learn the pan. She sit down there and she start to listen. Let them play, oh, this music is heaven. I love the bass, don't talk, oh, I love the beat. In any case, all the instruments sound sweet, but there is an edge, and if I am forced to say, I'd rather the Iron Man any day. Oh, you know I cannot prevent this exciting way I feel. This lovely iron instrument really put me in a feel. Well, I hope I'm not asking for much. Would you please just permit me to touch? Then she grabbed hold the iron. It feels nice, Mr. Allman. Do you mind if I play, Mr. Ray? She hit it, bang. She hit it, bang. She hit it, bang. She hit it, bang. It's that with a tongue and she hit it, bang. She hit it, bang. She hit it, bang. She hit it, bang. She come back with doom, bang, doom, bang, doom, bang, doom, bang, doom, bang, doom, bang.
Hey, you. Tell them if they come in, come good, because there's convincing licks here for them. Hear me? Passing by Brooklyn Square, they the ones, the schoolboys they declare, they the ones, when we hear the music, they the ones, they doing our trade. We feel like it's a raw deal, somehow they should have feel. This part they come in and say, hey, Mr. Sharp, how you feel? I say that fun man don't cry, sweet music never lie, the motivation is excellence, it's not about price. This year we confident, 101%. We have a music album that nothing could overcome. The people calling for, they say they declare war, jamming just like before. An export is in performance, musical majesty. That is his specialty. We hold the master key. The whole world gone in a trance, raising hands. For the fan magicians, Smith Band. His face to win command, Smith Band. People in Wonderland, Smith Band. This victory for Steel Pan. Hey! This sweet! This sweet! Ah! Give it up! Ah! One man shaking my hand. They the one who does from foreign land. Ah! They the one inside them something burns. They the one every fan man concerned. Ah! I'm walking on Benares. I let me say it, she prayers. She praying for every panorama to be judged fair. I'm a kid friend that Joy see. And lay back my money. She said you satisfy everyone. Tom, Dick, and Harry. This year we confident. Hey, 101%. We have a music album that nothing could overcome. The people calling for. They say they declare war. Jamming just like before. An export is in performance. Musical majesty. That is we specialty. We hold the master key. The whole world gone in a trance, raising hands. 45 magicians. Sweet Band. His face to win command. Sweet Band. People in Wonderland. Sweet Band. This victory for Steel Pan. Hey, hey. Yeah. Now we're raising. We're raising hands. Raising hands. Raising. Yo! Yeah, the people. Everybody come in.
Thank you. Just to let you know, we'll be starting in the next 2 minutes. So if you guys want to slowly start making your way inside, there is some lovely seats up in front. Yes, I'm looking at you because I want you up in front. Front and center. Just to let you know, we are starting in the next 2 minutes. So you guys can slowly make your way back inside and we will start this discussion. Oh wait, I can't. Perfect. Can everyone hear me? Perfect. Okay, we are going to be starting shortly. So if you guys can make your way back inside. If you're outside, can you let the other members know that we will be starting? Seats up in front. You guys don't be scared. I'm looking at you, Callisto. You can move up front. Mr. DJ Smooth. That was amazing. Good evening. How are you guys doing today? Good, good, good. I know a lot of you had a long drive. I'm glad you guys got here safe. How was the food? Perfect. So let's put a big round of applause for Cafe Caribbean for providing the food tonight. Thank you, thank you. And we have a partnership with Kerry West. So make sure you go to the bar and get refreshments because it is a little warm today. So you need to go to the bar a lot. Okay. So welcome to the second annual Western Canada Steel Pan Showcase panel discussion. I can't believe it's the second year. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so we have some amazing guests tonight. So with that being said, I want you guys to start thinking about questions. For those that are watching online, get your questions ready as well. So first, I would like to introduce Andre White. You can make your way up on stage. Then next, I would like to introduce Olujimi Lapierre. Oh, he's busy, but he can come up. And then next, I would love to invite the wonderful, amazing Trinice Sweeney. And then up next, I would love to introduce Rudo. No, you're not coming up. Okay. Then Mr. Earl Lapierre Jr. So since we're missing one, I gotta take away a chair. He doesn't want to come up. That's okay. I'll just move over. So let's welcome our guests. Okay. So Earl, I will allow you to introduce yourself, let the people know who you are.
Check, check. Yes.
Perfect.
As she said, my name is Earl Lapierre Jr. Earl Lapierre Sr. is my father. He's instrumental in bringing steel pan to Canada back in the 60s. And we have a band called Afropan. So that's who I am. And I'm sure you'll ask more questions and you'll hear more about me in a little bit. But I'm Earl Lapierre Jr. They call me the extraordinary steel panist or pan man on duty. All right?
Lovely. And the lovely lady in pink, Coral.
Am I just speaking too low?
There you go. There you go.
My name is Trinice Sweeney. I'm a panist, been playing since I was 3. I'm from Toronto, and I love steel pan, so that's why I'm here.
Amazing.
Thank you.
And then up next,
Yeah, check, check. Everybody can hear me? Nice, nice. Hello, everybody. My name is Olujimi Lapierre, known as Jimmy the Boss from the Cayman Islands, man. So, yeah, we here. You know why we here is all about pan right through, pan from now till later, till next year. At one time we go in pan all day, we eat in pan, we sleep in pan, we eat everything with pan, right? Right? Yeah, man. So, nice to be here again, too. And, yeah, thank you again for having me.
Check, check, check. I don't have a DJ voice like Earl and Jimmy. But my name is Andre White. I'm a steel pan musician. I travel the world. I tour with Etienne Charles and the Creole Soul Band. I'm an arranger for many steel orchestras around the world. Mangrove Steel Band, Pan Evolution in New York, Skipper Steel Orchestra in Trinidad and Tobago, Panbury Steel Orchestra in Trinidad and Tobago, Chordmaster Steel Orchestra in Trinidad and Tobago, and a few others. But yeah, you guys could actually ask questions later about those things. And I'm excited to be here once again. I was here last year. It was a great time. Thank you.
hello? There we go. Yes, we are still live. We should be. I hope so. Anyway, let's get started. So, let's just start off easy like I do on my podcast. You said you started playing pan at 3. Who introduced you to pan?
My dad.
No.
Oh, you can hear me now.
There we go.
My dad actually introduced me to steel pan.
Okay.
I was born into it. He was in 2 bands at the time, I think.
Okay.
He was in Pan Masters, and I don't remember the name of the band at the time, but it was a band led by Albert John, which is my teacher.
Okay.
And so I was just born into it. My mom was playing sixth bass. She was pregnant with me. My dad was playing.
Got
They used
you.
to put the blanket in the pan and rock me in it. That was my rocker.
I feel like that's a story for everyone.
Yeah. So I just grew up in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So we'll start at the end with Andre. You are an arranger, you're a pan player. What don't you do?
I don't do OnlyFans. I'm joking.
Okay.
I look like we have mostly adults here. No, I think that's the same.
Okay.
I try
Okay.
to keep it.
So I was going to ask you, when it comes to arranging, I know we asked this last year, but we have a lot of new faces. What is the first thing you do when you start arranging? What's your first plan of attack when it comes to arranging a song?
I think, well, obviously it would be to learn the DNA of whatever song I'm going to arrange. So let's say I pick a song from, this is in terms of what Panorama you're talking about, or just in general?
Just in general.
Yeah, whatever song I'm going to arrange, I try to listen to it, dissect the harmonies from the song, learn the bass line, really diverse myself into what's happening with the song itself, the actual composition.
Right.
And respect the composer's work at the same time.
Right.
Right? As
How
close
about-
as possible.
Okay. How about you, Jimmy?
Just repeat the question again.
Yes.
Yeah, repeat it again.
Oh, how do you attack how do you attack a song when it comes to arranging?
Honestly, for me, it's just vibes. You know what I mean? Like I used to tell people, it's like basketball in a sense. You gotta analyze your team. You gotta know your team. Certain people. People's strengths and weaknesses. Not every year you're gonna have that same strength of a core group of people playing too. So not every year you might. You can't really be who you is too. You gotta kind of adjust to the scene too. So for me, I go off with this feeling at first, analyzing at first. We just do a lot of songs in the band to kind of get the band on a vibe. So we can have a direction of where the vibe can take. And certain songs will take off a certain way too, and you can know that will be the song, and then that itself evolves into other things by itself naturally right there. For me, So
Yeah.
it's just more like going with the flow and in that current moment state of mind too, and just letting that do his thing. But I don't think I have a blueprint or a template to say this is how I go because every time I'm doing something is a different completely approach and a new journey. Like I say, trials and tribulations for certain things. So that's
Right. Right. Trinice, you just told me you're arranging a song right now for a band.
I didn't tell you that just now. How'd you know that?
Hello, Birdie told me.
Well, this is actually my first year in Toronto arranging for Toronto Panorama. So I'm trying to find my way.
Okay.
I did listen to the song like what Andre said. I tried to dissect it as best as I could. Listen to the bass, listen to the guitar, what I can put where with what section, also with the strength of the players.
Yeah.
I try to find stuff that fits with the song that I like.
Okay.
I know that.
No, I mean, it's you. Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Okay. So, since it's your first time, did you listen to the melody first? Were you listening to the back line first? Or were you just kind of listening to everything all together and just kind of dissecting it as it comes?
I listen to everything all together.
Okay.
Listen to the chord structure,
Okay.
the melody. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you using any certain programs or you just kind of just pan?
Just pan.
Okay.
Just pan.
Okay, pan. Old school.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's how I learned. So
Right? Yeah. Old school, old school. I get that. Okay. We'll get back to you. We'll get back to you.
Okay.
Mr. Earl. How do you arrange?
I don't.
Oh. Okay.
I don't.
Okay, that's fair.
I have never arranged in my life.
Okay.
I arranged this outfit.
I mean, you did
There you
something.
go. There you go.
Like it, yeah. But
You did something. Okay.
I have never arranged a pan song in my life.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah?
That's fair. I always thought you did one.
Nope.
No? Okay. So,
Why is that?
there we go. That's a good question. Oh, by the way, there's a mic in the center of the room. Don't be
That's a good
embarrassed.
question.
That's a good question.
Let's see. I feel like I never got the opportunity to, in a sense, because I have a father that's very old standards, and he doesn't believe in passing on things. So I feel that could be one of the reasons why. But I don't want to put all the blame on him as well. But I think my journey in pan started a lot later than all of these guys here. I didn't start playing pan until I was like 15 years old. In fact, I didn't really even like pan.
Okay.
And until I actually discovered how beautiful it was and I could play the songs that I like to play, because I was born in Toronto. Everybody
Right.
thinks I was a Trini, but I song like them, but I'm not really a Trini. So I started to experiment a lot more with mixed music because, like Andre said, this voice is what did it for me. I'm an MC, I do those kind of things, fete and that sort of thing. So I want to see you guys tomorrow night at the fete so we could party, all right? But what I liked was mixed music because we had a DJ crew.
Right.
So what I used to do is I would get my DJs to mix behind me and I would freelance on the pan. So my style was a lot different from my dad. You know what I mean? So once I discovered I could do what I wanted to do, that's when I started to love pan a lot more. All right? But I've never really arranged
I
a
think you
song in
should.
my life.
I think you should.
Still don't. This is Jimmy's turn.
Oh.
This is Jimmy's time.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Well. Since you brought up improvisation and being a soloist, how are you able to find your voice when it comes to improvisation? Because we have a lot of up and coming soloists in this room. I see a few of them. Some of them are on this side of the room. So how did you find your style, and what is your thought process when you hear a song and you want to improvise just on the fly like that?
I don't even put myself in these guys' category. These guys are
Same here.
monsters when it
Right?
comes to
I know.
improvisation. I am a very good pan player. I could pull a good song, and I could give you a little small little touch of a little solo.
Yeah,
and
a little one
all
too.
that George.
Yeah.
But I like I said, when it comes to music, I hear a song, I can play a song. Right? Not a lot of people could actually do that. They need scores or music and that sort of thing. I don't read and I don't write music.
Right.
But I just hear a song and I play a song. So I like things that will make people move, you know? So get a good melody, good song,
Yeah.
transpose it to pan, then we're good.
Okay.
Right? So
How about the busters in the group? How do you guys find your voice?
Trini's, don't even do
Trini's,
that.
this is all you, man. You have the mic in your hand. Trini's,
I
let's
can't
go.
wait for you guys to hear Trini.
Yes,
God.
she's amazing.
No
yes.
pressure, no pressure.
No, not at all. No.
I would say that I did study 2 years of music.
Yes.
In university. I know you knew about that, but I'm switching to social work. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that
But,
later. Yeah.
I feel like I just follow the scales, follow the patterns that I know. I have patterns that I do.
Yeah.
And you could transpose it in any key. I just follow where my heart takes me.
Okay.
Really and truly.
Okay. How about the other two?
And what am I answering to? So
Are you paying attention?
I just want to know what I'm answering to. That's all. I mean, like,
Oh, okay. So my question was, just finding your own voice when it comes to improvisation.
I don't know, boy. My journey was different from my brother's. Like, I lived with my dad for a long time. So I mean, yeah, mine was very. I would say I used to tell people like army. I wasn't like in an army kind of sense, you know. Like I used to get real cuss and buff and licks for just doing just what would be foolishness to him, but it wasn't foolishness to me. It was me making mistakes and trying to figure this thing out. But it didn't have no room for that. You know what I mean? So I never get a chance to really play around too much, you know. It's the same reason why even now with the music festival in Cayman, I actually have the national record for the most gold wins as a steel panist, but as a person taking part in that whole national children festival, adult festival, doing like classics and jazz and thing every year from 1995 straight until about like 2012. I kind of say I was done with it, just because, you know. So it goes from like from children to juniors straight to adults as well. You can compete, you know, open categories. You know, everybody competing category, but they have an open category to where everybody's judged on something, you know. So
Yeah.
I've been in that whole thing for all my life, you know.
Yeah.
I tell people I'm a classical trained and a jazz trained kind of musician first before I started, like what Earl said, doing my own thing. You know, it's only now and now to have fun with me kind of music and soca and producing this and doing that and thing. Now in my last 10, 12 years, you know what I mean? So now this voice I have has been paved because of all of the experience I've been through. You know, growing up in Trinidad in Pan, growing up in Cayman in Pan, New York in Pan a bit too. Not so much in New York, a lot, but a little bit. You know,
Yeah.
like in the 80s, but you know, my father used to arrange down there too.
Okay.
Earl and I used to travel a lot too for Pan down in New York when I used to arrange. And then every year in Toronto my whole life. Every summer was Toronto.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know. My journey was really serious, man. Like regiment. Like I couldn't play. Even when I tried to tune a pan, I get licks for that.
Because that's not your job.
I get licks for that. I tried to choose something in the house and this man come and see all kind of denting, all kind of shape and all kind of artwork on this pan and he's like, nah, come here. So my journey was a lot different. So, you know, I had to lock in and take it very serious. You know, improvising was a serious thing for my family too, you know, just creating and just coming out the works, you know. My dad coming from a serious old school kind of lifestyle too with him and Bugsy and Robbie and Ray and all these kind of guys. So listening and growing up to these guys all the time, every day in my house was serious. So
Right.
yeah, like I said, my journey was a little different than the
Okay.
rest. So.
We have a question in the audience? Oh, Mike? Mike in the audience?
Pass.
There we go.
Yes, we have a question right here.
Can you,
Hello,
oh,
Jimmy,
sorry.
just for
Can you say your name and what band you play for?
Oh yes, my name's Kiandra, aka Kiki. Everyone calls me Kiki. I play for Trincan Steel Orchestra.
Are you the Kiki that Drake talk about?
Yes.
Half the thing, right?
A lot of times when I introduce myself to people, that's the song they sing. So maybe. Jimmy, just a question for you, real quick. Because Janice had said that she went to school for 2 years studying music. So I was just curious, like if you were classically trained with music as well, or if it's just something that you learned, you know, being around your father, or if you actually went to school and learned jazz and those different types of genres as well.
Let me sit forward for this one a little bit.
It's a deep question.
No, listen, I came from the Cayman Islands, right? Cayman Islands is a place that we have a lot of many opportunities for things, right? So a few of us who was really inclined in music and thing right now really was stand out amongst the rest automatically from jump. From since I was a little boy, we separated ourselves from the rest just from the simple things that we were doing, but great to them, right? Growing up in school, my music teachers never gave me a chance. They never gave me a chance because first of all, they ain't like my father. Steel pan was the coolest thing. And going to music class, obviously choosing music. When I in there, everybody else is down so and I up here. And she and he and all them didn't really had much things to really offer me at the time. You know, they didn't want to give me basic things. I used to play trumpet. People didn't even know I used to play trumpet, you know. I'm a drummer too. Okay. You know, it's all that I learned. But when I was learning that, I want to learn more and beyond because my musical incline ability and my IQ too was different, right? So when they want to teach me just the basic C scale on a trumpet, I was done already in C sharp and all the sharps and all the flats and all the kind of thing and gravity and thing. They didn't like that. So for me, I didn't really get a chance to learn music in school, but I took part in music as a curriculum in school as a, you know, a credit or whatever. I started to read music way after I came out of high school. Like I think when I was living in Toronto is when I started to actually first time read music. That was like 2004, 2005. And I self-taught myself. You know, I didn't went to school for it. I got invited to enough programs, enough school. London Royal Academy of Music invited me. Berkeley invited me. Juilliard invited me when they came down to Cayman and the jazz department. We used to host big jazz forums where they just wanted to play with me. And the professors always just put me forward and do this. So me being around these kind of caliber people, especially my dad traveling and these guys as well too, just traveling and being around these kind of individuals, it didn't really allow me to go through that wave of, you know, education for music and thing, you know. I was given all the answers, all the secrets and thing around me. I was hearing it, I was living it, you know. What they giving me, school can't give me. Right. You know, so for me, I learned to read music a lot later. And honestly, I hardly apply it today. You know, I really hardly apply that kind of side today because I learned to just like Earl said, listen, I can hear things and be playing it blip blop.
Yeah.
So for me, like I said, my journey was a little different because of that. I didn't really get the fair chance of my music teachers really wanted to nurture me and give me more of a theory kind of, you know, embodiment too. So I don't know. I guess it was different for me.
Okay. Trinice, you went to school and you also learned pan old school. How did that help you or did not help you going to school?
It's the best thing to go to school and learn music theory when you know how to play a pad.
Right.
It's the best thing.
Right, okay.
Even in high school, like I would be so much ahead of the other students. I remember there was one test I did. I didn't know anything about the baritone, nothing.
Right.
I guessed what the C was. I guessed, and I got the whole thing right 20 hours.
Okay.
I guess. It's all the patterns, I feel like, because I play tenor. It's, God bless Pan.
Okay.
God bless it. It's,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How about you, Andre? Because you also went to Berkeley.
I did.
You did.
I did.
And you also learned old school.
I did.
Okay, so did that, learning from how you learned back in the day to going to school in Berkeley, did that help you? Did it hurt you? Did you feel like you had an advantage?
I think I had a similar upbringing to Jimmy, in the sense that like the band that I came from, there was always this expectation for me to be at a certain level.
Right.
Along with my interests, I had my own eagerness to want to be great or to want to get better behind an instrument. And I remember like, you know, leaving school sometime. One of my schools, my junior high school actually, in New York, was across the street from where the Pioneer was. So there's a lot of times I'm leaving school a little early, a little too early.
Right.
And I'm going across the street and for hours just practicing and practicing and practicing and, you know, just like Chini said, by the time I got to college, like it all helped, you know what I mean? And also, you know, I'm blessed and fortunate to have good ears, perfect pitch.
Right.
So that always helped out from early. But yeah, I think both goes hand in hand. You know, learning by rote is just as important because they can't teach you feelings. You can't write feelings on the page. You can write the word feelings,
Right.
but you can't write feelings on a page.
Yes,
Right?
amen.
So-
All right. Oh, there's a question. Oh, okay. Introduce yourself, sir, and where you come from, sir.
Kenneth Headley from Base 3 Steel Band from Vancouver, British Columbia.
Welcome.
Thank you for having us. A lot of people don't know that Andre is actually a phenomenal drummer as well. So I guess the question first is, are there any other instruments that you play for the panelists besides Pan?
I do.
And number two, if you do play another instrument, how does what you hear or what you do with that instrument impact how you arrange or navigate soloing as a player?
That's a good question.
Great
Thank you.
question. Great question.
Yeah.
Before I get into that,
Yes.
it's interesting enough. So, Kenneth's family, the Hadleys, his uncle, which is his dad's brother, Mr.
Okay.
Harry Hadley, was my first arranger I ever played under. So I know
Wow.
I know the Hadleys probably, gosh, more than I'm what, 35. So probably like over 25 years now.
Okay,
You know what I
wow.
mean? So, but to this point, yes, I play drums. One of my first instruments was upright bass, acoustic bass, as well as I'm a horn player. Yes, I play trombone as well.
Okay.
I play
Wow.
keys. I do all of my work on keyboard.
So wait,
Vibraphone.
hold on. My earlier question, what don't you do? You could have mentioned all.
I told you. But it might, but yeah, and then to his next question, I think all of those experiences played an integral part in the voice I have today as an arranger, especially within the Panorama idiom. And especially now that we've transitioned into this soca era of pan,
Yeah.
where, you know, even in the calypso, you know, back in the days everything was calypso and pan tunes, and it had a lot of brass lines, it's a different kind of, you know, element that we're dealing with where it's more incorporated with outside genres, not just calypso, not just
Yeah.
Caribbean bass. You know, I mean, we're dealing in soca now. So I think my experiences with the different instruments, the different genres I grew up playing, which is pretty much everything, help in, you know, build the character that I have today
Yeah.
musically and the voice I have.
And you guys will hear him. For those that first time coming here, you'll hear him play tomorrow. Blow your mind. We were talking about pan in schools. There was an article that came out in Toronto that steel pan is coming out of the school system. Can you imagine that? That's crazy. You
no
went
more
to
pan in the schools?
No more pan in schools. You went to school specifically for pan to teach in schools. So how does that affect you, and how do you feel? Because you just mentioned earlier that you had to switch now.
I changed my
You
whole
changed,
major.
yeah.
And for anybody that knows me, I don't have any extracurricular activities. Like, I have no hobbies. Pan is my life.
Right.
I don't go out. Only thing I go out with is my pan.
Right.
So for me to have to change my major because I thought I wouldn't be able to get a job, it's heartbreaking, but
Yeah.
that's the reality of it. I feel like I wouldn't be making anything if that. Like, there, so many music teachers were cut.
Yeah.
Like, I keep hearing stories about all these teachers that were cut in Toronto, and I'm like, no.
Right. Right. So how important is pan in schools? This goes for all of you.
I guess since I'm the Torontonian here,
There you
I will
go.
speak on that. For example, I mentioned earlier my dad brought pan to Canada.
Yeah.
One of the things that he did when he came to Toronto in the 60s, I think it was Expo 67, he stayed in Toronto. So there was a couple of them that stayed himself, Pan Man, Pan and that. And one of the things that they made instrumental was actually bringing the pans to the Toronto District School Board. And the Toronto District School Board embraced it. So they're credited for doing that.
Right.
And at one point I was saying that there was more pans in school in Canada than there was in other places, right?
Right.
It's phenomenal to see how many schools actually have steel pans. There's a festival that they put on every year for the last, I want to say it was 35 years now, I believe. Maybe 30, 35 years. It was called Pan Fest. It's called Pan Fest.
Yeah.
And every day for a week, they would have 4 different school bands perform. So every day, 4 bands would play.
Wow.
This year, they did East and West. And last year as well, they had to do a West Pan Fest and an East Pan Fest.
That's crazy.
And the same thing. That just goes to show. And that's just the Toronto district.
Mm-hmm.
The Catholic School Board has as well. Some Durham schools have as well. So what is happening right now, I believe it's the intermediate teachers or something like that. They're looking to cut. And that's basically 95% of the PAN program.
Wow.
Right? Those are teachers who may not have all the credits to become a music teacher, but they could come in as a special teacher to teach steel
pan.
pan.
Yeah.
It is very sad. I don't know if it's official as yet, because I keep hearing rumors that they talked about this before, but it is very sad to see that because the PAN programs in schools were really taking off. This year would have been my last year doing the Pan Fest because I wanted to pass it on to somebody a little younger
Yeah.
to come and be a special guest, but it is a sad time, and it breaks my heart to hear what she just
Right,
said, that she has
exactly.
to switch her major because of this.
Yeah.
That's sad. I don't know what they're going to do. We haven't heard much talks about it, but I know, for example, even the organization, one of the organizations that I have created in Toronto called Pan Arts Network, we were looking at doing things with the school bands because it's a major thing. We wanted to keep those programs going and building.
Yeah.
The bands are getting really big, like 30 and 40 students per
Wow.
band. So it's sad to hear that that might be a reality. I don't know how true it is, but I'm praying that it's not.
Yeah.
But it's very important in Toronto.
Yeah.
You could see the love that the kids have for it. You could see the enjoyment that they have for it. Some of the bands benefit from it as well because some players end up continuing the summer. So it is sad to hear if that is the last of it. I'm not sure for sure, but yeah, it's an important program.
Yeah. And Trinice, we were talking yesterday that there are some schools that have like pans in storage.
My home school, my home high school, they had pans in storage for like 20 plus years.
That is
Where
crazy.
the pans were rusted.
Wow.
And Stephen Leacock. They were rusted. They had no teacher to teach them.
Yeah.
But now there's no funding for the teachers to teach them.
Right. So now there's going to be more
to
pans.
say you're not sure, like, what's going to happen to the teacher, that's too unsure for me.
Yeah.
And the thing is, what's going to happen to the pans? We wouldn't even
Yeah.
know because they were property of the Toronto District School Board.
Mhm.
And like Trudy said, there's a lot of schools that had pans.
Yeah.
I went to a school and the way they had the pans, I was like, Lord, pan on top of pan, this and that. Is this? And it's a lot of old pans, but you
Yeah.
know, like if you really treat a pan properly, a pan will never die, right? So
Yeah.
you could bring it back and at least a student could play it. But yeah, it is sad.
Jimmy, do you have any comments, thoughts, concerns?
For Toronto?
Yeah.
Oh boy. I just sad, man, because like I said, my life has always been in Canada.
In Canada,
Like,
yeah.
Right? So I'm used to seeing this thing thriving and growing. Right? This new era that we're in, where we're seeing the kind of like the reverse now doing like this slowly now is crazy for me. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's like I said, it's new to me too to kind of hear this going on. And you know, it don't really stop us from doing what we're doing. We got to continue doing what we're doing. You know, the minute we stop, it gives more of a reason for why it should be cut. So it just makes me now have to realize how important what we're doing too in this world, and what kind of role we play too. We definitely all know we all have a purpose too. You know,
Yeah.
so it just makes it now more, I guess, with our aggression now to kind of just, we gotta push.
Yeah. We have a question? Oh, we have two questions. Yeah. In the back. And then.
Hi, Dexter, Peace Setters, Regina, Saskatchewan.
Welcome, welcome.
My question is regarding steel pan competitions. I would love to hear your opinion on what you think, be it Panorama back in Trinidad or Pan Alive here in Canada.
Great question. Who wants to take that on? Oh.
I'll take it on.
Okay, okay.
I'll take it on.
Go for it.
As someone who has made a living in many ways from Panorama, in what is probably an unpopular opinion, I believe Panorama has become a detrimental crush for steel pan.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is because for many regions, many countries, many bands, probably all the bands I work with, that's the only thing that they look forward to now.
Yeah.
And growing up, we had many more, there was just so much more that we look forward to other than Panorama. And the reality of Panorama is there could only be one winner, maybe two if you're lucky. And the way Pan Jamaica go, you might have
Maybe
four.
three.
But the reality is everybody can't win. Everybody can't win, and it should just be seen as just one event on the calendar of amongst many, not the only.
Right.
You know. Our next problem that I have with competition is that we get so caught up in the idea of competing that we have lost the idea of creating.
Yes.
I made a post the other day. I'm not much of a vocal person. Ironically enough, right? It sounds crazy. I have the mic in my hand right now. I made the post the other day and I actually took it down on Instagram. But I said, how could we call ourselves musicians if the only time we create and make music is for one event?
Right.
Maybe that was Rudo's response to that. Yeah. But stop talking that foolishness now. Cut out that. And I say that to say this, growing up, idolizing the guys before me, like the Len Booksy Shops, the Clive Bradleys, the Chet Samarus, and not only growing up idolizing them, but growing to become, friends with them and really developing close bonds with a lot of the Mount Rushmore of
Pan players.
Pan.
Yeah.
Knowing what they did for the instrument and where they brought it, to see that way, not trying to uphold that and take it further, is kind of very disheartening for me.
Right.
You know, and I'm saying that because we're not creating enough original content. We're not even trying to do different things. You know what I mean? When I think about Bugsy still to this day is the only man in Panama writing his own music.
Yep.
I mean, composing his own songs and standing up strong and competing, and to me, even as one of his competitors now, it was probably the most refreshing thing I heard in the Panama.
Yeah.
And I just hope that eventually we get away from this idea that Panama is the end all be all, and get into the future of knowing that we have to think of different avenues and different ways to push this thing forward.
Amen. Do you guys want to? There's a couple questions. Yeah, in the back.
We have a question from online.
Okay.
Cecil George in Trinidad and
Oh, okay.
This is for Andre. Andre, Cecil George wants to know, who was the first band you arranged for?
A band in New York that I grew up playing with, Adlib Sea Orchestra, out of Long Island. Big up Adlib.
Okay, and there was a question up here. Oh, you cut off?
Guy, they don't want to hear your question now, boy.
Boy. Yeah, I'm Gary. I live in Vancouver, and I play with Phase 3 Steel Band. You said that we need to do something different with Panorama. What does something different look like in terms of whether it's an event or a format or something? Because Panorama powerful,
It is.
It is still like the number one, some will say the only motivator for youth especially to come out and play, right? So how do we build on that, and what does that something else look like to you?
Well, is that question just for me or is that for everybody?
I think it's for everyone.
Anybody else want to answer first?
You go first, boy. You're doing good. You're doing good. You're doing good.
Sorry, before you guys start, there's another question in the back.
No, but good question, Gary.
All right. Answer first, or we take any next question?
Answer.
So I think, again, I think I'm amongst maybe the last of the Mohicans, for lack of better words, in terms of, I grew up, knowing about music festival and Pan is Beautiful and Pan on Memory Lane and bomb tune competitions and calypso competitions for the road and solo competitions, and even though that word competition comes up a lot, but there were still other avenues for us to express ourselves. I think the way forward should be things like encouraging creativity and our own works. Maybe creating more platforms that celebrate composers behind the instrument. Where, since we love the idea of competition so much, why not create a whole event where you're only doing original music?
Yeah.
As well as I think the steel band, just like any symphonic orchestra, could back any artist there is. And a big problem that I have is that, as much as I love the soca artists, I feel they could do a lot more showcasing the steel bands, especially within Trinidad or globally, and utilize them with their stage performances. I mean, one hand washes the other.
Yeah, exactly.
We play their music year round and we get nothing from it. And I say that because if you realize now, a lot of these soca artists, they're actually writing songs now for the steel bands to play, because they know after we play it for Carnival, the song gets more traction. I.e., Nyla tune the other day, more soca,
yeah.
and Boyce with all his songs that he, Guys are writing songs for Pan now,
Yeah.
again, because they get the publicity from it. So I just think there should be just a little more, we should reward more creativity amongst the instruments, and just create different avenues to showcase that.
Yeah.
Hope I answered the question.
You did perfectly. Question in the back.
Thank you. My name is Kenrick Headley, and I'm from Vancouver.
Welcome, welcome.
Okay. Now, when Andre said that the panorama become the only sort of instrument that is happening, I would like to go a little further back, because of the fact that the economy in Trinidad plays an important part in the carnival. When I used to play pan, I still play, but in the earlys, our band learned lots of songs to play. We were playing in all the parties in Trinidad. Now, you find that the band only learns one song. And that song is played. I myself play pan in Panorama, and I know at times it could be tedious. People come in to hear the pans and then we hear one song. So it is a bit problematic in terms of getting the bands and them now, instead of playing one song, learn songs so that when people come and listen to the band, they could give a mini concert so that the people would hear more than what the Panorama song entails. That's one thing I would encourage. As a matter of fact, I sent her to Pan Trinbago that, you know, Carnival is one, but we also have to get the bands and them not playing in the parks, but playing in parties, because all these soca artists and them having parties, they're bringing people from away to play and sing, but they're not playing, making the steel bands and them perform in the parties.
Yeah.
Okay? Thank you.
Mr. Headley, I think that's one of the biggest problems that I have right now with my band currently in Toronto. Somebody mentioned Pan Alive with the Panorama thing. So,
Yeah.
To me, the Pan Alive has so much potential, but it is very stagnant in a sense. It comes like they're doing the same thing over and over and over, and it's like they're not really trying to take it to a next level in a sense. They're trying, you know, but every couple of years we get a new president who wants to try to do something else and try to make themselves look bigger and better. But I felt in the last maybe 5-6 years with my own band that the focus was too much on the Pan Alive. And my problem is, I'm more of a business person in a sense. I see Pan as a business as well.
Yeah.
As you can see, I have my brand on. People buy my shirts. Same with Afropan. Afropan was a Caravana band. We used to be the biggest steel band on the road. People will come to our blockos, buy drinks, buy t-shirts, have a great time. We'll play music for them where we'll have 4, 5, 6 different songs other than just the Panorama songs. Then they would say, let me go and buy a shirt and go down the road with the band. That's how my band would generate good income. The other bands in Toronto weren't doing that. But when I told them, like, I sell an average of 500 t-shirts at $30 a pop, they're doing the math.
Right.
Pan Alive last year gave Pan Fantasy $2,000 for their prize. If I carry these 4 people on a gig with me in Toronto, that is what I'm charging people, $2,000, because each person has to get at least a 500.
Yeah.
Right?
I have a
But
question
you're going to
for you.
take 80 people to Pan Alive and get $2,000 as a prize money, maybe $1,800 as your parents' fee, and you're happy with that. It's bragging. It's what, just for bragging rights, and the trophy is this small. So this year, I was kind of adamant because I kind of took myself out of the Afropan equation, but this year I was kind of adamant and said it makes no sense for the band to go to Pan Alive, focus on bringing back music in the Pan Yard, learn, even if we do 10 songs, people will be so amazed because normally a Pan side doing 2 and 3 songs, you know what I mean? That's it.
Yeah.
You bring back a stage side. The stage side is very important in bands. If you have a functioning stage side throughout the year and you're gigging, you're generating money for the whole year.
Yeah.
Do Pan classes. That's how you get students to be involved in your band. So these are the things that we lost over the last couple of years as well. So this year, hopefully, they take the opinion of the junior and hopefully they actually do what I said and they come back and just rebuild the band and we have something fresh.
Yeah. I know Trinice has a question, and then
Yeah, I
after
have a
yours,
question
there's
for
a
you.
question in the audience.
When you say you sold, how many was it? 500 shirts?
500, yeah.
How long ago was that? Like, was that recent or was like that over the years or?
I want to say that's right before COVID. Like those were the numbers that I would be making. I would be making 600 shirts. 100 was for our members. 500 was to sell.
Okay, so now my next question. With this 5 or 6 songs before COVID as well, I feel like nowadays the cost of living is so expensive. People are just working, and they're tired to come and there's no passion.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like people feel like they're getting nothing out of playing it when they're so drained working all the time. Like for me, I work a 9 to 5 or sometimes my hours will change from like a 1 to 9:30 and then I have to head to practice.
Yeah.
And what time am I getting home from practice?
And
1 a.m. And
This
then I
is,
gotta go.
this is
at
a valid
8 in the
point.
morning.
Valid point. And this is one of the things that I mentioned to my own players. I was like, why do we have to be in the Pan Yard every night? Especially because for competition, I could understand that.
Yeah.
But if we wanted to bring back the love and that sort of thing, so let's have practice on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. Sunday is our block day.
Yeah.
You know, Tuesday and Thursday you have a free night. Why do we have to be here till 11, 12 o'clock at night?
Right.
7 to 10, practice. Learn music. Have fun. Let's bring, because it gets frustrating for a person who's coming straight from work to, and this is a laughing thing in our band, people just get buff. You know what I mean? And you coming straight from work and you still have on your hard shoes, your belly griping, your wife vexed with you because you're going in the yard, she ain't seen a long time. You know, man and woman have these issues.
Yeah.
So this was my suggestion is like, let's just practice a couple of days. Let's do some blockos. Let's play in some fets. And let me bring back the love in the band, bring back the incitement, the joy, because we used to have fun.
Yeah.
We used to have, like, growing up, Pan Yard was a summer vibes.
Yeah.
Now it's like, you really want to go down there and get no book tonight, no boy? I will go tomorrow. And then tomorrow does never come. So
Yeah.
we want to bring back the love.
Yeah. There's a question in the back.
Dexter again.
Hello.
My question is around pan tuning. I'm speaking on behalf of the band in Saskatchewan. We've been struggling to get a tuner. And that's a problem that we have been experiencing in I think, most of Canada.
Yes.
So I would love to hear your opinion as to what you think we can do as a community to start getting more tuners.
I think where it starts is that we need to actually start training people to tune.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Tuners, the older tuners, like my father, didn't want to teach people how to tune. It's like they wanted to go to their grave with this thing. So could you imagine? Pan could have been extinct in the next X amount of years. So I think that's one of the things that we need to start doing. There are programs that teach you how to tune. You know, there are places that do that, but there are some great tuners who travel the world right now who, like you say, you're in Saskatchewan. Maybe he could come out here for a West Coast tour and do everybody, you know, that sort of thing.
We
so
are
you have
trying.
to make those arrangements in their off season. You can't expect them to come here during Carnival.
Yeah.
You know?
You know what's
We have
interesting
been
about
trying.
that? That is a global pandemic right now for Pan.
Yeah.
Ironically speaking. Like, I travel the entire world doing this thing, and everywhere is having the same issue. To get tuners. I mean, even in New York, where at one point, New York was like the second Mecca outside of Trinidad for Pan. And now there is no tuners in New York anymore. Wow. I'm talking about each band at that point had their own in-house resident tuners, and now there are none.
Wow.
Yeah.
None, zero. Well, just like what Earl talked about, I mean, a lot of the guys that are doing it either have retired now or, you know, sorely enough have passed on and didn't pass on the knowledge. So, and so that's a global pandemic right now, and I would even go a step further. It's actually a problem in Trinidad.
Yeah.
I work with a few bands, and majority of the bands are depending on 1 or 2 or 3 tuners to tune for the bands. If there are 10 tuners in Trinidad, maybe 3 are premier, and so they will get maybe about 80 to 85% of the work, and then the rest will get whatever they could. But that's 10 tuners for
thousands,
hundreds of steel bands. Think about it. That's the mecca of the instrument. So, you know, don't feel bad. It's not just Canada.
Yeah, there's another question.
Yeah, Carol Renan from Callisto Steel Band in Calgary.
Hello.
Oh,
yes,
no.
thank you. Thank you.
There you go.
I'd just like to get back to the question about creating music for Pan that Andre talked about. And I'm just wondering whether the Canadian community or audience is ready for that. Maybe in Toronto, you have a large Caribbean community that can understand that. But out here in the West, I mean, we play for a lot of gigs and we have to play a wide variety of music because that's what the audience wants to hear. So we're not actually, I don't think, ready to create our own pan music. We were at a gig not a week ago, and somebody in the audience called out, "Play something we know," you know. So I'm just wondering, is that ready for Western Canada, or?
Can I say something? As pan players, I think of us as also DJs. We have to play songs we have to introduce people to music, right? So I think this is important to make your own music and also play what the audience wants to hear. So give them that mix. I don't know if that's if that's fair. I don't know if you guys want to add to that.
That's kind of exactly, that was going to be my response. I'm not in no way saying we gotta stop playing popular music or no. Steel Band was built and is founded on playing popular music. You know, when you think of the Pan North Stars and the SO Triple E's, and those guys played popular music that was on the radio that people wanted to hear, but as well as they played stuff that, you know, came traditionally or that maybe the arranger would have composed. And to answer your question, even if you're not ready to write your own music, there are a lot of steel band composers.
Composers, yeah.
How much steel band compositions does your group play? You could support the art form in that way as well.
Yeah.
You have a lot of composers and you could play something from them and mix it in. You know, maybe play one. I'm not saying to change a whole entire repertoire to just, you know, but you know, a little support goes a long way. I think if we stand up with each other and make our music become somewhat popular, you know, it'll go a long way.
I just want to say my dad would write a song for Trin Can every year. Every Kerry West, there'd be a Trin Can song. So for the, Anna, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was the 30th anniversary of Kerry West or the 20th, he wrote Happy Birthday Kerry West. And no one knew that song until he came to the mic and started singing it. And then people started to realize, oh, okay. And every time throughout that year, we keep playing it, and even years after we started playing it, and people enjoyed it. So you have to, again, be that DJ and introduce whatever song you're composing to your audience. They will eventually catch on.
Because nobody didn't know Drake before Drake released his first song.
Yeah.
So you had to put it out there first.
Yeah.
You gotta put it out there.
You have to put
And
it out
then
there.
the more the DJ started to play Drake,
Mm-hmm.
is the more popular it got.
Yeah, there's a question.
You know what? Actually, as well, Afropan used to have a theme song that my dad wrote. Maybe you guys could come up with a theme song. That's the first thing that you play to introduce yourself.
Yeah.
So people get recognized. This is your actual theme song. So maybe you guys could figure out something, and it doesn't have to be nothing long.
Yeah.
A theme song could be 30 seconds, and then you go into your repertoire. So
Like
I think between the 12 of you here right now, somebody will come up with a theme song for next year, and we'll hear it next year at the third annual Steel Pan.
I love that.
Alright.
Yes. There's a question up in front.
Let me check first. Oh, okay. Gary again. Going back to that tuner thing. That's a serious issue.
Mhm.
I mean, I have a pan that was given to me by that was tuned by Paul in Toronto. And I left Toronto in 2000. So that pan is at least 25 years old, but it's older than that because he gave it to me.
Yeah.
Now the pan still sounding decent. If something happened and I need to get it tuned, I have nobody to go to. So my question is can technology assist in providing that service? Because I know Shelly and them have pan factory in the States, etc. They're producing a ton of pans. So how do we have a problem and we have to have a solution, right? And that solution may not necessarily be more tuners, although that would be nice.
Yeah.
But is there a bad hangover one time? Yeah?
Honestly, Gary, I think all of us here have that nightmare that we all face, no matter if you have a hard case, because we saw what's his name pan get mashed up in a hard case the other day. Whether you have a soft case, I watched a man help my pan and I was like, what? So, especially when you're coming on a trip like this, like I'm sure the first thing Tradice did was ran her pan when she got to the
I
hotel
did.
just to make sure that it was in tune. I'm sure.
I did. My A is out.
You see?
Yeah.
The A is gone. So
And I learned something from Jimmy.
I feel like it's something that maybe even us as the soloists and the people, I think we may have to even try to take a little course. I've watched my dad tune a bass in Bermuda with a book.
Oh wow.
But why
Wow.
can't we make...
Okay.
That just sparked an idea in my head. Why don't we have programs where anybody who wants to learn and loves steel pan can go to Trinidad and learn
Honestly,
how to make it?
I don't think that's the issue. I think we all want these programs. I think we all wish we can get this information told to us, but it's just these tuners just have to be willing to pass this information on.
Exactly.
And that's just what Dre said earlier too. So, I mean, for me, like during COVID, right? One of my notes went out, right? I say, you know what? I know I understand this pattern. You know, I can call one of these tuners right now. So I call a tuner. I say, yo, this note gone. Where I need to hit? And they tell me where to hit. Bring the thing right back.
Right.
So that was me kind of making initiative again to kind of like, I can't send this pan anywhere. So the best alternative was like Gary talking about technology. That was probably one of the nearest technology moments I had to say where I had to go on a video call. And this guy had to watch me tune this thing. You know what I mean? But it should be like what Trini's saying. It should be like apps showing you this thing. This should be like, you know, work tutorials on YouTube showing you how to, from a more friendly kind of approach too, you know, like what we can use in our area in the moments for the time being until we can probably get the pan to a specialist, you know, what you can do for now. Not a quick fix, but just a for now kind of fix, you know, kind of thing even.
There's so many panists, so many arrangers, and I think people overlook the tuners.
The tuners.
Yeah.
Don't worry, AI come in.
There can't
That's what
be...
I was gonna say. There's a question in the back.
Hi. Okay. So, as leaders within the PAN community.
Sorry, who are you?
My name is Sherelle George.
Thank you. And who
Danielle's sister.
Who did you used to play for?
I played for Cecil George
Okay.
with Trincan Steel Orchestra.
I feel like she wants to say Trincan, but go ahead.
So, have any of you leveraged like art grants? I know we've been talking about tuners, but has there ever been an opportunity to teach the youth how to apply for grants to potentially go to Trinidad to learn these skills so they can come back and fulfill their community?
Yeah, go ahead.
I can go. Oh. I've never received a grant.
but I always wondered how to do it. I feel like so many people know the knowledge and won't pass it on. Even like coming from a small band, we need the funding. We have no money to do anything really. We just come and enjoy the passion. But yeah. Okay.
Check, check. I've received, I shouldn't say I, but the groups that I'm a part of, like once again, Pan Arts Network, we've been around for the last, I think it's 30 years, and we've received grants from different places. First, you have to be a registered business. You have to run your stuff as a business.
Yeah. And
First,
that's
right? You have to have a bank account. You have to have a board of directors. You have to run it properly. And
Like a
I think
business, yeah.
one of the things that we have problems with is money management. You know what I mean? We get a little money here. I need a little $15. I need a little 100, 300 going here. You really have to run it as a business.
Yeah.
People would swear that myself and Wendy are banking money, but we don't get paid for the events that we do. We pay our players, we pay our performers, we pay the venues and that sort of thing, and we put back money into the company for the next event, right? And we do several events. The next event that I'm doing is called Sons of Steel, where I'm featuring Andre and Joshua Regrello. My brother is going to be on the cast, my sister, and 2 other panelists from Toronto. So every year we're putting on shows and stuff like this, right? And it gets harder and harder because, yes, like Trini said earlier, that money's tight for everybody, you know what I mean? But you still have to pay to go to these events. You still have to put in something because I'm sure this hall must have cost a good bit, you know what I mean?
Yep.
For the 2 days and that sort of thing, right? And I'm sure they had to seek sponsors and those sort of stuff so we could put on these things.
Yeah.
I would just like to see when we come back here next year that there's double the seats here because each one of us could bring 2 people, right? And that's all we need to do to keep growing our things. And I think that's how Pan Arts started. We started with our steel bands. Each one of our steel bands has at least 30 people. We gave them 5 tickets each and say, yo, I don't want to see nothing but cash. And we sold out those shows to the point that we were selling out 2 shows, right? And then we kept growing it. We brought in another show. We have gospel praise. We have other things that we're doing. So yes, there are ways to get grants, but it's not easy. There are a lot of grant writers out there who could write grants for you that they'll take a cut and a percentage. It's just where you're located if they're offering grants. You know, it's us. We don't see these things. There are people who actually work and do these things. So I feel if some of you guys seek out some professional grant writers and that sort of thing, you'll be inclined to get grants.
Yeah. Was there any other questions? Yes. Okay.
This is Dexter again. This is just a comment for some general information. There is actually a steel band tuning program in Trinidad that started in 2015 as part of the Pan School Squad. So they have been training and they do have a number of young tuners who are on the market, but they're also looking for opportunities.
Okay, good to know.
Our next question is coming from right here.
Hello, my name's Ava and I play for Trinket Steel Orchestra.
Hello.
My question is, I know how majority of songs from Pan is soca, but would we go out from that and do pop or rock or any other genre of music?
What? You answer that.
What?
Isn't that your band? She wants to know why you guys not playing no pop, no rock. Why aren't you playing pop?
Here's the thing.
You just told me to play everything.
No. Here's the thing.
Tell us.
Here's the thing.
Tell us.
I will tell you guys. We had those songs.
Had?
Here's retention.
Okay.
Is the thing in our band.
Okay.
We had those type of songs, but like when you don't play a song for like a week, people forget.
Okay.
Exactly. So it's just like.
You're bringing them back?
We're working on it, but it's just we had a lot of good like pop and reggae and classical songs, but it's just retention is just not there.
So what song do you want to play? Sorry.
You're gonna hear it tomorrow.
What's her name?
Ava.
Ava.
You're gonna hear it tomorrow.
No. What song would you like to play in the future? Because I'm sure you have a song.
Say it with your chest.
So I found a musical based on Greek mythology called Epic the Musical.
Okay.
And I would love to play one of those songs from that musical.
Nice.
Okay.
I think that's a good
Nice.
song. So
Yeah.
next year, when we're back here, you guys will have a theme song, and you all will be playing that song that Ava. All right, I'm looking forward to those two compositions, eh?
Okay, we have another question.
Hello, my name is Kito. I play for Trincan as well.
And also a upcoming tuner arranger.
Working on it.
Nice.
All right. We have some work for you in Saskatchewan, you know. So don't worry.
I'll hone my craft and I'll let you know. My question kind of has to do with tuning, but it also has to do with arranging. When I was in Trinidad, there was a lot of talk about standardizing pan layouts. I played with All Stars while I was there, and so I was playing the All Stars tenor. And there was a lot of people that were talking about, we got to get rid of these things because we're the only people in the world that play them, and like that's just unhelpful for anybody else trying to play our music. And I know Trinice, you were just talking about how because the tenor is a circle of fifths, it makes music super easy. I found the same thing when I was taking music classes in university. Just because I know my pan so well, it made theory so much easier. So I'm curious what you guys think about, should we standardize the layout of pans, or is it imperative to have things like the All-Stars tenor, things like the Despers tenor with the low D in the middle, or skiffle, maybe skiffle. And
okay.
Despers has the rocket pan. Like, is it important to have those, or would it be more imperative to standardize everything so that it's easier for people to learn?
I feel like this is an ongoing
I think
conversation.
I think it's important for both.
Yeah.
Really and truly, because the different types of pan give you a different sound. Like if you're playing a D pan, I know they use that a lot in Trinidad, and you get a certain sound of it from the front line, right? But
Yeah.
here we use low C. Most bands.
I'm interested to hear what Andre says, in truth.
Oh, yes, Andre, at the end there.
No, I think there's definitely a need for standardization, especially as the world is opening up to touring musicians. You know, as a pianist that travels with my instrument. Actually, I didn't come with my instrument because
We got
of,
you. We got you. We got
no,
you.
but and I'll explain that in a minute why I didn't work on mine. But being amongst a group of musicians where everybody else could walk on a bandstand and just sit down and play because their instrument is there and waiting for them. They might have to adjust, maybe just the hi-hat or something. You know what I mean? I don't have that luxury. That's a problem. But for historic purposes, I think it's important for us to identify, remember, and honor, the Invaders tenor, the thirds and fourths, and I think those things should be, at this point, not disregarded, but known for its historic purpose of this was the evolution to where we are today for the standardization. I'm not saying if somebody wants to have that option to continue playing that layout, by all means, that's up to them. But the standard should be what it is. Thirds and fourths, second pan is whole tone or augmented, however you're looking at it, and go down the road. But I think it's definitely important to standardize, especially when you start to get into different ensembles playing, different arrangers or composers' music. I might arrange my music for a standard layout of a double tenor or whatever I feel is standard, and then it reached a band that their layout is completely different, and they're looking at the music like, what is this madness you're trying to get me to play? And I've been in those situations before, playing songs where the music was arranged for a certain layout and it doesn't necessarily work on where I'm playing now.
Honestly, that's what Andre, I just touching base on what Andre said too about like being touring and doing this stuff too. Like, I mean, if we can get to a point where I put into my rider that I want a guppy soprano low C, and when I show up, they got it. And with the same adjustment of height and thing, then we know pan reach where it need to reach.
You know what I mean? Until then, we ain't gone nowhere near nothing when it comes to this art form. You know what I mean? I would love to travel the world where I don't have to walk in my pan and thing, where I can just stay home in the studio and just chill.
You didn't have to walk with it today.
And you know, and again, too, touching back on the history side, we really have to really appreciate a lot of the other versions of pan that came before us too. Like for me, I got the chance to learn a lot of different style because of my father. He's still playing the Invader style. You know, I know that style real good. And one thing I appreciate about them kind of styles that are not standardized too, it doesn't really get you systematic into when you're looking at patterns too in the pan too. So as a soloist and an improviser too and whatever, you see things and you feel things different when things are not in a pattern. You know, I find I just receive and give out things different when I play in a soprano pan versus my alto pan, as double the seconds. You feel? I'm a completely different person, a different animal on a seconds than a soprano, because of the fact that you know how it's set on might not be standard and things. So for me, you know, standardize is the way to go, but I would love to go somewhere where I don't have to ever bring my pan, where I can say, yeah, I need a Bertie Marshall pan because I feel it not for that kind of environment to the show, and just I gotta have Steinway's piano and this. You know, I mean, I think we should be there. And when pan reach there, then we know pan in a good place.
And I'm glad you spoke on the point of the different brandings of pianos like Steinways and Yamaha and such and so forth. I think it's important to understand why there were different layouts. It was to emphasize on the differentiation of the tonal quality of each steel band. So like back in the day, like as much as it is, you could recognize the arranger's arrangement style, it was just as prominent that you could recognize the band's tonality, right? You could know just by listening, that is Desperados. You could know just by listening to a recording, that is All Stars, that is Invaders, because the tonality was there. And I think that's where the big dispute was of why it hasn't been standardized, because of that tonal quality situation. But I think if we're reaching a global standpoint now, where we're trying to break that market, it is imperative that we go down that road and, you know, become standardized. I think, you know, if it continue in the Panama thing, then that's one thing, but yeah.
I think for me, I was 12 years old and I went to Trinidad and competed in the first international Panorama. I competed with a band from Montreal.
Okay.
I'd only ever played low C my entire life.
Right.
We get there, I'm 12, eh?
Yeah.
And I've only played at a handful of bands at the time.
Yeah.
But I get there and there's no low C. The low C that they had, other players had already taken, so I had to learn how to play a D-pan in less than a week.
Oh, wow.
And let me tell you, I did. Because you don't want to mess up there. I didn't want to mess up there, so I tried my very... You know what? I can hop on a low C pan or a D-pan now.
Yeah, that's good.
With no issues.
Yeah.
Quito, so how was the conversion for you? Because I'm sure you started on one pan and had to go to that. Was that, you learned that in Trinidad at Panorama time and played with the band?
I did. I showed up and they handed me an All-Stars tenor. And they didn't tell me.
Whoa.
And so I went in the racks. And I was just like, what is this? Like I thought I forgot how to play pan. Because I was just like...
You reached the mechanism. Like, what the
yeah. That not sounding how I think it's supposed to sound. It was interesting, but once I figured out that it was different, it wasn't that hard for me. I learn a lot based on shapes. So once I know what I need to play, I know the shape of those notes and I can go to that. So that translates to any pen.
Sweet.
So playing the All-Stars tenor, it was simple because I was just looking at shapes.
Okay.
But then when I tried to think about what I was playing, that was difficult. Because on a fourth and fifth pan, I'm like, if I play this pattern, I know that's a major triad. If I play this, I know that's a diminished 7. On the All-Stars tenor, I had no idea.
Cool.
So it was just, either I could go home, rethink about everything that I learned and try to figure out what I was playing, or just not care what I was playing and just think about the shapes. So for Panorama, I didn't have to care about what I was playing. So it was just, what are the shapes? Easy enough, right?
Sweet.
I played with the stage side for a bit, and some of that I was beginning to think more about, like, what am I exactly playing? Is a lot less intuitive on that pan. But I also found the thing for All Stars was it's a point of pride for all those players that I play the All Stars tenor, and you know that's close to home for me. And so it was interesting when I talked to people who played in bands who mostly played the fourths and fifths. They were like all for standardization, but anybody from All Stars that played the All Stars tenor was thinking more about what it means rather than like
What it is.
how much more helpful it would be to be standardized. And I think that's the biggest thing that's holding standardization back so far.
Wow, that's amazing though. I'm happy for you. That's
Yeah.
cool.
I
Last
think-
question for you though.
Oh.
So your sticks that you play here in Canada.
Yes.
Is it rubber tipped or is it band sticks?
What are you trying to?
Hold on, I'm going with this. This is the thing.
I play the rubber tip. I play with
And
Panther sticks.
were you allowed to do that in All Stars?
Absolutely, absolutely.
They allowed you to do that?
100%.
I heard you could only play with band sticks in All Stars too. You had to ban your sticks. Like, wow. Okay.
They let me bring my sticks, but they, for some of, actually it's interesting because it's just a different feel.
Right.
So I have banded sticks at home, and I got some while I was in Trinidad. And for me, when I was playing there, it depended on the song to which sticks I prefer to play with because they feel different. But yeah, they let me play with my Panther stick.
You almost caused drama online, just letting you know.
I almost caused drama online?
Almost caused drama online.
I mean, 24 more people could come online. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Trinice, you had something to say?
You know, interesting enough, when I started playing pan, I was six years old. And one of the first things that they taught me, besides playing the instrument, was two things: how to clean the instrument and how to wrap your sticks.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, you know, as I'm working with bands down in Trinidad and people have these wrap sticks, they don't know how to wrap the sticks. It's like
So wait, when it comes
they
on,
come in like this, like the normal phone, the telephone. People looking at the buttons like, what is that? Or how to turn? You know what I mean?
so they're looking for someone to wrap their sticks if
I
it
have
comes.
spent majority of the practice wrapping people's stick.
Wow. Wow.
Use wrap as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But for me, like, I prefer wrap sticks.
Okay.
For the feel, for the sound.
They sound better.
I don't like tubing.
Okay.
I never liked tubing.
Okay. You wanted to say something earlier, Trinice? No? You forget? We can come back?
My thing was about the accomplishment of being able to play a different pan, not a standardized pan. I think you should feel accomplished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Round
you
of
can learn
applause,
that.
round of
Just-
applause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And they won
Wow.
that year too? Wow.
Well, yeah, that needs to
Nice.
be. Oh, there's a question in the back. Oh, up here and then in the back.
I didn't have a question. I was just pointing at that guy.
What did I do now?
Oh, you see, drama.
That guy right there.
Drama.
So thanks for everyone on the stage here and encouraging us to write our own theme song.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
There you
Big up
go.
y'all.
Yes, sir.
Big up y'all for the creativity.
I'm looking
We
forward
ha-
to that next year.
we-
You know.
We have a question.
If they invite me back, it looks like I'm getting banned right now, so I don't know if I'll be.
You're
You
causing
will
drama.
get-
You might get banned.
You'll get invited.
Hi, not a question. I was just gonna say,
Oh.
that
Oh, the bands involved should have a theme song.
I like that challenge.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Battery dying. It's okay. I have a question for you guys.
Let's hear it.
I might be causing the drama now.
I have a question for the audience. Let me finish.
You have a question for?
For the audience, for everybody.
Oh, go for it. Or don't we ask?
When you finish.
Okay.
Finish.
So
Mine
I
is
was
a
going to
finale
ask
question.
earlier, Earl, you mentioned that, sorry, I can't remember the band, was big in Carnival in Trinidad, in Toronto. What band was that again?
Afropan?
Afropan.
Oh, okay.
It was really big in Toronto Carnival. How important do you guys think pan is in carnivals? Or do you think it is?
In carnivals?
Yeah.
Well,
so like Caravana.
Well, pan is one of the most important elements. It's pan, soca, mass, calypso. So if it's a pie, you have to have that. You know,
Right.
like it should not be there. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
It's sad that I feel like some elements of Toronto's so-called carnival, they don't really respect the pan, or they
don't
really
appreciate
don't
it.
put
Mhm.
forth solutions.
Someone
for the
wants
pan.
to clap.
Everything
clap.
is
I feel
all
like,
about
I
the
feel like
mass
so-
bands.
Yes.
So, for example, if we get trapped behind a mass band who decides to take lunch, we're trapped. We can't move.
Mhm.
If their truck comes and drowns at us, we can't play.
Yeah.
If we want to get off the road, we can't get off the road because it's barricaded. So there's no entry or exit plan or nothing there for us, which is irritating because obviously we feel like we're an integral part, or we're a part of this thing, and they should put things in place for us. But sadly, I could speak on Toronto. I remember a time where we would go out on a Friday night or Saturday, Tuesday night and listen to pan, come by Harvard Day and listen to the bomb competition. Like, I find a lot of those pan things that used to happen where pan would be on the road and DJs would shut off, those things don't happen no more. So there is a time now that brings back those memories for me. It's called Republic Day Juve. I don't know if I'm an advocate for this thing now, but I've been preaching this thing, and Andre came for the last couple of years, and he can say how nice it is just to see like 10 steel bands in the road pulling pans like how they used to pull pans back in the day. You're getting calluses on your hand. Those days, it's so refreshing, and you get to hear some of the top bands play. We go around the oval, and then we end up in Invaders Panyard, and then they had Renegades and All Stars perform inside there. They're stage side, and instead of a DJ jamming and people jumping up, it
Just
was
pan.
steel pan music,
Nice.
and they were the DJs. They put on a phenomenal show.
Mhm.
I look forward to that every year. Like,
Nice.
I swear to God, I would go to that every year. So I think those things are important, you know?
Okay.
And we appreciate those kind of historical things, like you're saying with that pan there. I remember looking at my dad's pan and saying, I don't know what the heck this is, and I never really even touched it. I was too afraid to even touch that pan, but
Yeah.
I think those kind of things should be noted and in a Hall of Fame or a Wall of Fame, and people should have them and, you know, put them up and let people see where it came from to now, you know?
Yeah.
It still fascinates me when I see Andy Narell playing the ping pong pan, you know, like just the tone of that pan. It's like phenomenal that he actually has one. So, and not a lot of people have one, right?
Yeah.
So,
Trinice?
I feel like we're being slowly erased from Caravana.
Oh, okay.
So sorry.
Okay.
Like, growing up, you used to see so many bands on the road. Even for me, I was one of those babies in diapers on the road.
On the road, yeah.
In
Same
a pan
here.
truck.
Same here. Yeah.
But how many bands are there in Caravana right now?
last year there was two, Afropan and Tommy Couture.
I was on one of them.
Right.
Yeah, and there was nobody in the band. The players. I've never seen that in my life.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Do we think it's actually the organizations that's pushing us out, or is it that the band's not producing the quality to maintain their presence there? And I would say that to say this, as a young man who who grew up playing pan, you know, New York and Trinidad, it was important to play on the road. But not only was it important, you played numerous songs on the road.
Yeah.
And then as the years went down, you find that the bands and or the arrangers or the players, we started getting more lazy.
Yeah.
And they end up only playing one or two songs for 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
And guess what happens? The players want to play because they're fed up playing the same two songs.
song.
And one of these
Over and
songs is probably the Panama song. So they're fed up play that about 10 times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So quality control, and the reason why I say that, because when I was with that, a few years ago, well, over 10, 15 years ago now, one of the things I made a point to do was, you know, I would make sure that the state side came out in full force for the road. And we came with a solid repertoire of 10 songs, including a bomb tune, just to preserve the culture, because it's an important part of the culture.
Yeah.
And that way, the experience is enjoyable for everybody, because we played the most popular soca's for the year. We played popular songs that people of non-Caribbean descent could appreciate. You know what I mean? And when we did that, our following for Juve Morning in New York, going down Empire, was huge. Huge. Thousands of people. Because we were able to diversify ourselves. And we came out with quality. So, and so that's my real point to that question is, are we making sure to deliver a certain standard of quality when we go outside on the road, or when we go anywhere to present? Because I could tell you there's a few bands that I've came across that don't do that.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think I feel like a lot of bands are struggling in Toronto, mine being one, but, you know, we're trying our best, and I think, again, with the retention, with the work life, with how much people really come to practice, with what time people get home, it's hard. I have the passion. I feel like not everybody has the passion. They're just there just to be there and say, oh,
I play pan.
Yeah.
No, you're right. And we touched on that earlier. Like, I'm adamant about it because that was Afropan. Afropan we were called the People's Band because we'd have thousands of people at our bloco, and we would sell out T-shirts, and people would be so vexed. You know what I mean? Because they couldn't come and jump up with us on the road now. And that has suffered over the last 5 years. So I totally agree. But I also say in Toronto, I could say it's more organization than anything else.
Yeah.
Right? Because of the fact that we're not getting that treatment. We're not as eager. And we're not looking forward to it. I'd rather stay in my panya than do a bloco than to go pan alive or go on the road in a sense. Right? But
Is it that you think that maybe the organization seems that you don't get the kind of traction that maybe would bring people, or maybe they find like it's not making sense because people are not gravitated to it as they once were?
I can't speak on them because every time there's an event, because now I am practically the stage manager for the FMC. That's the festival management, right? So I do King and Queen, I do the road, I do the Kiddies Carnival, and they tell me how important they feel Pan is. They want to see Pan there, and Pan should be there. And then when I got the run of show, they had a band like Fanatics playing early in the show for 5 minutes. I was like, what kind of foolishness is this?
Yep.
They're taking a band 25 minutes to set up, and you wanted to play 5 minutes? I was like, no. So when they came, I'm stage manager, I was like, Andrew, give me 3 songs. However long that is, it's going to be 3 songs. Right? Because you can't give them 5 minutes.
I was playing with them at that time.
Same with Pan
We were
Fantasy.
all upset.
Same
we were
thing.
so upset. We got cut off.
But if I didn't ask them to give them 3 songs, it would have been that one song, and they would have been good with that. And the sad part about it is that was the first Caribbean part of the launch. It was the official launch of Toronto Carnival. This is the first thing that you're putting on stage is Pan, which is great, but you want them on for 5 minutes. And then after that, you want to bring the politicians to come and speak for 25 minutes. Actually, it was more like 45 minutes. Politicians are coming up and talking about how great the festival is, and they're going to give them money. And I'm like sitting there like this, oh my God, 45 minutes of talking, and you just wanted 5 minutes of Pan. That's sad.
Yeah.
Makes no sense, right? So
Jimmy, I
it's
feel like
the
you want to.
organizations more.
Jimmy, I see the look in your eye. I feel like you want to say something.
No. I live in this. I live in this whole thing with everybody that's talking on the stage with this thing, man. So for me, I just start to kind of experience it. But at the end of the day, we're just touching back on like, why certain things for me from an outside standpoint. I mean, I think a lot of us struggle too in these communities because of just the unity too. There's not a lot of togetherness with these bands. There's not a lot of one another checking in each other, make sure we good, are you good, you need anything, there's not a lot of unity even amongst us Caribbean people when it comes to this kind of thing. So if we can unify more, there's a lot of things, especially our voice will actually be heard.
Yeah.
A lot of these fundings and grants too, when they want to give out the bands, the reason we have such a delay or a restriction or they ain't getting back to us on time is because it's the same thing, they're not seeing why they should sometimes. There's not really so much of a big community to say they're coming together. Like, let me ask you guys a question. You guys have an association here in Alberta representing everybody as a government body of PAN and thing here? You guys have anything like that here?
No, that we're working on it.
You guys should
we're working
definitely
on
come
it.
together and be doing that. With that being said, you will definitely have a voice where government grants, anything can't ignore. You understand? You think he's struggling now is probably because of that too, right? So if you guys can come together under an umbrella where everybody is understanding what they need to do, especially with the value of probably, like, you know, when you're going to gigs and when you're doing things like this, you know, there should be a standard pricing around the board where nobody is kind of undermining or dropping and all that. What that will do is raise everybody's value up, right? When they know you ain't taking less than that because this one not taking less than that, and they understand why you're not taking this because you stand in for one another, they have no choice but to respect people in the thing. So that's why I asked that question too, because you know, we Toronto struggle with a lot of that too. You know, before Afropan birthed about like 8 steel bands out of Toronto. There's about 8 steel bands come out of Afropan. You feel what I'm saying? So Afropan has always been a development kind of thing for people to start and become monsters. You know what I mean? So, but we need to have more unity. That's why I asked her, because, like, you know, it hurts me to know when you travel to places around the world and PAN always have to be second last or second to none. You know, and I live in this thing 100% fully from PAN. You know, so it hurts me to know that, you know, we have people and groups and families and organizations still trying to become whole, you know?
What is nice about this is that you could see that there's interest, right? And like Jimmy was saying, one of the important things is having the unity. So for example, Afropan would have a blocko. Our annual big blocko would be the Sunday before Caravana. That was like a staple day that nobody would want to do anything because they knew everybody was down by Afropan. And what was nice is when I would invite the other steel bands to come and play in the yard, because they would get to see the amount of people that was down there. They would get to perform. But what tended to happen was a lot of them bands started to play that one song. So now they didn't want to come in Afropan yard, play one song, and then Afropan play 6 songs, and then they looking kind of small. So they started to deplete with that. But when you have togetherness, this is when you'll have these kind of numbers. You'll start seeing people coming out and supporting your things. So I always like to have blockos and invite bands down. We always try to support the other people's blockos by not putting an event on that day as well. I would go out to their blockos by myself and buy 10 tickets just to say this is from Afropan and those kind of things, just to show the kind of support that we have for the culture. So it's very important to support each other's events. And I think something like that here would be very good. Kind of similar to like how Pan Arts Network started. It's just, this is how it started. A little small show like this at Christmas time. And then I got bored because it's like every year we go play Jingle Bells, man. I don't want to play Jingle Bells every year. We moved it to January, so now we can play any genre of music, and you could see how it grew because, like we said, we kind of got in the same routine. You know what I mean? So hopefully you guys can start doing that. Hopefully this showcase, this annual showcase, is going to get to that kind of numbers. And I'm looking forward to coming back and seeing this place rap. You know what I mean? And I'm looking forward to tomorrow to hearing you guys.
Yeah, for real. You guys got to give yourself a round of applause too, and you too, Danny, because this is really good. Like, this is where, like the girl said, this is what it's about. You have to support this, support one another. We all in this together. Never feel like you're in this by yourself. All it just takes is sometimes a conversation or a call, or just if you want to find out information, or just to, you know, touch base on things, man. So you guys should definitely give yourself more than enough credit just by doing this. You guys might look at it as nothing or small, but this is bigger than anything. A lot of places in the world ain't doing this. Places like Trinidad ain't doing this. You feel? So you got to give yourself credit that you got to come together, and this is where it starts from too. So yeah, congratulations on this as well.
Thank you. No, you're good? Okay. So I think that's a great way to end this discussion, because I think we've hit a lot, but not really, because discussion in Pan is always going to continue.
You know, we could talk for days. You know, this is
I know
this is
we
important.
can,
though, but this is the important thing. You have to kind of
Yeah.
talk. You know, we don't have these forums here where we're talking about life and information in the same art form. So,
Mhm.
you know, I learn in listening to one another here too, just as much as you guys listening to us too. So, without us having open our mouth, we wouldn't hear and learn anything or know anything. So, sometimes it just takes to just say something. Sometimes, you know.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you.